Greetings from Cybertron. This is Soundjack here with a review of the Transformers Titans Return Deluxe Class Zort and Highbrow. So Highbrow is a part of the 1987 Headmasters alongside Chrome Dome, Hardhead, Skull Cruncher. The only main things about him are that Zort was originally called Gort, and that in this current toy, he shares a surprising amount of similarities with another Titan Master figure that we've already looked at. But let us start with looking at Zort, formerly Gort. So, and this is where we're going to very quickly get into the comparison with the other toy. If you see between here and Fracus, these two are the same body type. The main things going on is that instead of silver on the face and red on the visor here, Zort has only silver visor and just solid blue plastic for the face, and then just different plastic molding, different plastic colors, but all of the details are the same. And this is the main thing about Highbrow, is that he is an incredibly extensive retool of Scourge. It doesn't look like so in the vehicle mode, so their vehicle mode's not going to be compared between the two of them. But in terms of transformation and a bunch of some of the details in robot mode, that's where the comparisons really get to. So Scourge will be appearing later in the video, but let's get back to focusing on Zort. So, the face for Highbrow. Yeah, we did look at the face for Highbrow, and that is the face of Highbrow. Very nice dark gray helmet, light gray face, and kind of a dull bluish grayish kind of eye color, which is different than most of the Autobots, who are pretty bright blue for their eyes. Articulation for this guy, standard for Titan Masters. Head rotates on a ball joint. You're being stubborn about it, though. Yeah, he's being really stubborn with his head. I don't know why, but it rotates. It bobs. It bobs like the other heads do. It really bobs. It goes that far back. You can look up properly. His arms are ball jointed, so his arms are able to bend that far forward, angle that far out. His legs are on pins. They're able to bend that far forward, that far back, and his knees are on pins, allowing him to bend that far back and that far forward. And to transform, you just collapse him in half, and there's the complete head mode. That's all there is to say on Zort. So let's get on to Highbrow himself. And Highbrow is a very futuristic dual propeller helicopter. You come up front, you see a lot of blues and dark grays on the cockpit. A lot of I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a whitish color. White on this translucent, transparent red plastic, so as you can see inside the cockpit, though you really can't see it all that well. Not a whole lot of detailing in that particular cockpit compared to some of the others, but you do get some detailing, like right there at the edges, right there. Then we go along to the top, and then you see some red peeking out, red paint detailing, some molded detail there, nice Autobot symbol, a little bit of red coming down back here, but definitely a different brightness than this red. This seems like only like one coat of paint or something, and this being a lot more coats of paint. The wings, highly detailed, all the same gray plastic. You get some wing flaps. You get look like tiny guns on the sides here. You get a little bit of nice dark gray, metallic-y paint on the sides of the propellers there, and then you get on the back rotor. You got dark gray on the back rotor or on the molded blue plastic. Then you got this back. And then you got the underneath, and you see where bits and pieces of the robot are going to go. So, in terms of accessories, Highbrow comes with these two guns. And how they interact These pegs will plug in underneath either at this point or at that point. So you can have guns, really big machine-like guns, sticking out on the sides like so, or underneath here, which is really more of the place where they're supposed to go. Like so. Like so. Sorry, that was a bit off camera. Now, the thing with the guns is that these got molded like landing gear on there. And I feel like these bits are supposed to plug in somewhere special so as he can really use that, but I don't think there is. I can't recall if there is or not, but I don't believe there is, but I would have thought that would have happened. Either that was just extra detailing to make it look more like it's a part of a helicopter. But I did forget to go over that he does have both of the helicopter blades are able to rotate. They do kind of bump into each other a little bit just because these are soft plastic and they did warp a little bit. So they did bend down. There is a bit of a landing gear. There's that functions as a landing gear. That's the only real landing gear, but you can also flip this, what will be Highbrow's chest out to like have a better landing gear, but there's nothing in the back that like really supports that. So you're kind of just left like that for a landing gear for Highbrow. But getting back into the accessories and Zort's interactivity, like I showed, you can open up the cockpit and you can plug Zort. Zort is such a fun thing to say, Zort. Plug Zort in and this tab pegs into a slot right there. So he can sit inside the cockpit like so. And you can pull him out. There's no Time Master posts anywhere for him to stand on the vehicle mode of Highbrow, unfortunately. But you can take the two guns and using these two tabs that are painted that are not painted, because this is all painted metallic silver. You slide them into these two slots here, connecting the two guns, and then you put Zort in a sitting position like so, and there's two Time Master posts at the bottom here. You plug them in like so, and then this is your gun emplacement out of these two guns. And then he's got two wheels in the back and like two thrusters, so I guess he can kind of like, you can pretend he's like driving a car that is just guns if you want. Doesn't particularly peg anywhere like that allows him to sit properly, because main places to plug him in will mean he's like hovering off this. Oh wait, never mind. I forgot. I am a dummy. You can plug him onto the side of the cockpit like so, right there, and that's even more ridiculous than what I was saying before. I remembered that you can plug them in those ports. There's one on this side and there's the other side. It's a sidecar for a helicopter, and that's a little ridiculous, because this would totally be able to support that. But anyway, that's enough with the accessories and the interactivity between Zort and Highbrow. So let's take a look at some size comparisons with them. Here they are with Legends Class Bumblebee, Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. You can see definitely longer, but the cockpit and the wings certainly make up for that. Oh no, not Zort. Not Zort. Here they are with Voyager Megatron, Voyager class Megatron, and actually Highbrow ends up being longer than Voyager Megatron, surprisingly enough, but probably a little bit because of that minigun. If that wasn't there, Megatron would probably still be longer, but only just. And then Leader class 6-shot. And you can see how they scale. And I think Highbrow is just barely wider, or just as wide with the wings he's got going on there. But yeah, that's all there is to say on the vehicle mode, so let's roll right along to the robot mode. So what's going to happen is you're going to untab the arms. They're lightly tabbed, kind of like Scourge was, with this tab going into us, going into that groove right there, that tab and that groove right there, and that's halt. And this, and like the knee pad full going into that groove right there to kind of double hold it in place. You pull that out, you pull that out, then you're gonna come down here. This is where it's gonna be very much like Scourge's transformation. You're gonna split the legs. You're gonna split them. You're gonna rotate these legs forward. And then you slide this entire assembly up and lock that into place, exactly like Scourge. And then you're gonna flip the feet out. Sorry, not the feet. These are Scourge's feet, but these are heels on Highbrow. You're gonna flip the heels out, and then you'll flip the fists out here, like so. Come on, there we are. Flip the fists out, and then collapse the cockpit upon the back, like that. And then there is Highbrow, and the only thing he needs now is his head. So we bring in Zort and plug him in. Come on, get in there. And there is Highbrow in his robot. Oh wait, and then sorry, you fold that out a little bit like that. It just indents out a little bit. And there you have Zort, Highbrow in his robot mode. And this is a very nice looking robot mode. I will complain about these wings a bit, these propellers, because they just don't lock into place, and it'd make it so much easier if these could like lock into place. But no, you're gonna get the blades flopping around no matter how you move this guy, which is a tad annoying, but he still looks very nice. So, getting a closer look at him, you saw the head design. There's the Autobot chest. There's the nice Autobot symbol on this grayish piece, this whitish grayish piece. Some very nice detailing on the rest of the chest, all in a molded blue. No paint to pick any of that out. Though a little bit of blue, a little bit of blue on there, and on there. Some nice crotch detailing. Then you get down to the legs, and you see this is all outside detailing, but it is very nice outside detailing. And this little bit of bluish grayish thing going on here on the knees, which are also a thing on the upper arms right here. And as well, there's a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red going on these upper arms as well. And then you get the arm details, you get the underside of the wings. And then the back is the blades and the cockpit and some very large gaps in the legs. For articulation for him, his head is on a ball joint like everything else from Titan's Return, so it's able to rotate, it's able to bob up and down. And I do think he does seem to have a lot freer bobbing motion, but I think that's partly because like the peg, the connector port for the Time Master head is a bit higher, so it allows him a bit more movement, because I think he's like actually, the head itself is actually kind of moving. Yeah, you can see the head's kind of like moving because it's not like properly secured in this connection. His arms are ball jointed, so he's able to rotate full 360, and then he can angle them out that far, but he's also able to use this hinge right here to get him to extend the arms out further. There is a bicep swivel just like right above the elbow, and the elbows are able to bend at 90 degrees. And then the wrists can bend this way if that works for you. No articulation at the waist. The knees are able to bend forward, that far forward, that far back. His hips are on a soft ratchet, so they will like lightly click into place. You can barely hear it, but you can probably see it locking into position on the camera. And they're able to go out that far, and then his legs are able to swivel full 360. His knees are able to bend, if I can get this out of the way, substantially greater than 90 degrees. You can get him as bendy as you can with just the kibble about. And then no articulation at the foot, but the heel is able to articulate and bend down. And that's all there is on the articulation of Highbrow. And then you can take the two guns, and then you can pull them apart, and he can hold the guns in his hands, like so. And then he can still plug them into the ports on the wings. And then if you really want to, you can store them on his back like such. But that does make a lot of clutter, especially with the propellers on the back there. But that's certainly where the best storage for those would be. And now before we get into the real size comparisons, I am going to bring Scourge out, once I get his head back on, to talk a bit more about like the similarities between the two molds. And obviously a lot has happened to do it. But like, as I noted, the whole transformation with this and how the legs collapse in on each other is exactly the same mechanism as Scourge's is. It's just this one needs to rotate to properly accommodate. The fists are the same. The fists, if you can see the details, it's a little harder on Scourge's hand, but those hands are the same. The arms are completely different. I gotta collapse you down. The thighs on these two are the same, and the back, these heel pieces are in fact the same. The reason why Scourge does have those very obnoxious panels hanging beneath his vehicle mode is to cover up the front of his legs, since they're just massive gaps without it, because they are massive gaps on Highbrow. And it's just that they're using the back and just put the pieces in differently, because like I said, the thighs are the same, but they have the same. Not one of them isn't using like this back section for the thigh. They are both using the same front for it. But and then everything else is substantially different on them, and that's a crazy amount of retooling to make one toy into another toy. Yeah, that's the comparison with Highbrow and Scourge. So now let's get on to the rest of the size comparisons. Here he is with Legends Class Bumblebee. See, Bumblebee's a bit taller than him at the waist, just only. Wow, that was a bad sentence. Here he is with a deluxe chrome dome. And Highbrow is certainly taller, even without the propeller blades. Ludiclass Megatron. And Highbrow is definitely not quite measuring at the sticker, but like a bit below the sticker. like in the middle, kind of between the sticker and the bottom, and that gray chest panel. Leader class 6-shot. And he comes up to somewhere on that skirt panel there. And then, of course, here he is with the channel mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack. So you can see how he looks with them. But, so for my final thoughts on Highbrow, I really do enjoy Highbrow. He is a very nice, very fun figure. And it's very interesting how much they were able to retool to make it so substantially different from Scourge. Yet they are still based on the same toy. And this is, yeah. And he's a little simple, and these rotors do annoy me, but he's a very nice toy, a very nice figure, and certainly necessary if you want complete modern updates of the 1987 Autobot Headmasters. But yeah, that's all I have to say on Highbrow. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All of the links will be in the description below. So thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.